So the second part of the Trump Ghislaine Maxwell story is about what Trump meant by "I wish her well." Now, I already laid out for you how on Tuesday at Donald Trump's coronavirus press briefing, he was asked about the arrest of Ghislaine Maxwell, the alleged groomer and trafficker of girls for Jeffrey Epstein. Trump bizarrely wished her well and then said he doesn't know anything about the connection between Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein. In the last segment, we focused on showing you in 2015, Trump certainly knew about the connection between Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein. Let's now talk about "I wish her well." Take a look at this clip.
Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison, and a lot of people want to know if she's going to turn in powerful people. And I know you've talked in the past about Prince Andrew, and you criticized Bill Clinton's behavior. I'm wondering, do you feel that she's going to turn in powerful men? How do you see that working out?
I don't know. I haven't really been following it too much. I just wish her well, frankly. I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, and I guess they lived in Palm Beach. But I wish her well, whatever it is. I don't know the situation with Prince Andrew. Just don't know. Not aware of it.
Now, a lot of people wrote to me saying, isn't it really weird that Donald Trump asked about someone accused of horrible crimes, right? Serial sex trafficking and grooming of young women and girls, wishing her well. That's weird. Well, of course it's weird. But Donald Trump is a weird guy. He has a different moral code than many of us have. But there's a different perspective from Donald Trump's former aide and very brief White House communications director, Anthony Scaramucci, who tweeted about this. And Scaramucci says Trump is wishing her well, not to wish her well. It's code for her not to talk. In other words, don't cooperate. Don't tell investigators what you know about Trump's activities, possible activities with Jeffrey Epstein. And Scaramucci tweeted in the morning earlier this week, quote, "She has the goods on him. He is signaling, please don't talk." Now, of course, it's speculative, but also, of course, if indeed there's some connection that involves Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, there's no shortage of such allegations. Donald Trump has shown that he is very much willing to reward people who stay quiet with either pardons or commuting their sentences. If you believe that Trump wishing her well is a signal that she should stay quiet, there's really an implicit threat there, sort of like a mafia boss suggesting that the guy who got arrested hopefully is going to have good luck, right? Which means don't say a word. Donald Trump has used similar language to other associates who have been indicted. Michael Flynn, Roger Stone, Paul Manafort, he's talked about wishing them good luck, wishing them the best. I hope for the best for them. So there's a degree of speculation here. On the other hand, you could say, of course, that's what Trump is doing. And it's completely obvious. Like on the one hand, there's people saying this is sort of speculative. On the other hand, there's people saying, clearly this is what Trump is doing. And that's exactly what he's signaling to her by saying, I wish her well. Now, to go back to the beginning and the sort of bizarre nature of Trump wishing well to a serial accused child sex trafficker, just imagine what would have happened if Barack Obama was asked about someone who had been accused of supplying underage girls for people to sexually assault. And Obama had said, I wish them well. Think just for a second about what Fox News and all right-wing media would have done for days if Barack Obama had done that. And you remember, this myth of the liberal media just instantly crumbles before our very eyes. So in terms of, do I expect we're going to get public news of any kind of allegation from Ghislaine Maxwell about Donald Trump before the election? I really don't. There is a contingent that believes the timing of this Ghislaine Maxwell thing is exactly so that in mid-September, late September, early October, there's just blockbuster allegations made about Donald Trump and his connection to Jeffrey Epstein. Part of why, listen, I don't know if there is such a plan. I actually don't know that it would make a difference at this point. Trump was accused before being elected president by 16, 20 women. Subsequently, in books that came out, that number went to 30, 40 something women who have accused Trump of different degrees of sexual assault up to and including rape. And Trump's approval and his polling started to suffer when he failed on coronavirus, when he failed on the economic response to coronavirus, when he responded to protests against police brutality by threatening to and actually sending in federal troops. So not only am I not sitting around waiting for that to happen in terms of Ghislaine Maxwell, I don't even know that it would make much of a difference. I think that the real issues continue to be the ones that people tell us they are. If you look at recent polling, the three issues hurting Trump are virus response, economic response, and response to the George Floyd protests / race relations. I don't even know that this is really what we need. More allegations from Ghislaine Maxwell. If she has them to make, she should make them and they should be reported on. But waiting for that as what's going to knock Trump out of office, his supporters have shown they don't care about that. And I think that that's the approach that we should have. If you disagree with me, let me know. I'm on Twitter at @dpakman. Also, remember that you can get the daily, every single weekday, Monday through Friday, daily audio podcast for free on any podcast app that you prefer. iTunes, beautiful. Spotify, available. Google Play Podcasts, have at it, Haas. The daily audio podcast typically released at 3 p.m. Eastern every day. We'll take a quick break and be back after this. If you love feeding your intellectual curiosity, but you're always struggling to find the time, check out one of my all-time favorite apps called Blinkist. Blinkist lets you consume an entire book on your way home from work. They take thousands of popular nonfiction books, condense each one into text or audio that you can get through in just 15 minutes, and you get all of the important core ideas and information from that book. It's perfect if you don't have enough time to do all the reading you want to do, or if you just want to sample a book before you buy the entire thing. I recently read A Brief History of Time, of course, by the great Stephen Hawking. This is a book that I have been aware of for so long, and other things got in the way, and it was fantastic to check it out on Blinkist. Blinkist has books on politics, philosophy, science. They have 27 different nonfiction categories, and a subscription is only about $8 a month, and you get the entire library. But you can try it totally free and get 25% off a subscription when you go to Blinkist.com/Pakman. I've put the link right underneath this video.